You need to watch this if you struggle with believing in ancient myths. Welcome to The Human Curious, where we explore the mysteries of our past. What if the dragons of legend were more than just stories? Imagine a world long before our recorded history, a world where civilizations possessed knowledge we have since forgotten. Could these ancient peoples have held the secrets to life itself? This idea is not as far-fetched as it might initially sound when we look at the evidence. Across the globe, diverse cultures share strikingly similar tales of dragons. From the fire-breathing beasts of European folklore to the wise lung dragons of China. How did so many separate peoples dream up such specific creatures? Perhaps they were not dreaming, perhaps they were remembering. Remembering a time when dragons were a tangible reality. These memories, passed down through generations, could have become distorted over time. Consider the sheer power and awe inspired by these mythical beasts. They represent ultimate power, untamed nature, and profound wisdom or destruction. Could the collective human psyche harbor a deep, ancient memory of these engineered beings? A memory of a time when humans were not the undisputed masters of this planet. A time when giants walked the earth and dragons ruled the skies. Let us delve into this possibility. Let us question what we think we know about our past. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like this video to join us on more journeys into the unknown. Who were these ancient people capable of such incredible feats? Our history books tell a simple story of human progress. Stone tools, then farming, then cities, then our modern age. But what if this story is incomplete? What if there were advanced civilizations much earlier than we accept? Civilizations that understood the very building blocks of life. They might have possessed knowledge of genetics. Knowledge that we are only just beginning to rediscover in our own time. Imagine scientists in a lost golden age. They did not work with silicon chips or steel. Perhaps they worked with energies and biological codes we no longer comprehend. Their laboratories might have been vast natural sanctuaries or hidden complexes buried deep within the earth. Here they could have experimented with life forms. They might have learned to combine traits from different animals. They could have accelerated evolution or directed it towards specific goals. These were not primitive shamans chanting spells. They were perhaps master biologists, genetic engineers of an almost unimaginable skill. The evidence for such lost wisdom is subtle. It is found in ancient myths that speak of gods creating life. How would one even begin to design a dragon? The ancient bioengineers likely started with existing reptilian forms. Crocodiles, snakes, and lizards offer a strong, resilient base. Imagine them selecting genes for tough, armor-like scales. Scales that could deflect primitive weapons or withstand extreme environments. These scales might have shimmered with metallic sheens, colors like burnished gold, deep crimson, or obsidian black as described in so many legends. Then comes the challenge of flight for such a large creature. This would require immense power and surprisingly lightweight construction. Perhaps they engineered bones that were hollow yet incredibly strong, like those of birds. Powerful muscles would be needed, anchored to a reinforced breastbone. The wings themselves would be a marvel, not just feathered appendages, but vast, leathery membranes. Membranes strong enough to catch the wind and lift a colossal body. The overall creature would be a fusion of the most formidable aspects of the animal kingdom. A reptilian body, the wings of a giant bat or bird, the ferocity of a great predator. The ability to breathe fire is the dragon's most iconic trait. How could such a thing be biologically possible? It seems like pure fantasy, yet nature offers some intriguing clues. Consider the bombardier beetle. It can spray a boiling, noxious chemical concoction at its enemies. This is achieved through a rapid chemical reaction within its body. What if ancient engineers scaled up this principle? What if they refined it to an incredible degree? Imagine a dragon possessing specialized internal glands. These glands could produce and store 2 or more volatile chemical compounds. When the dragon chose to attack, these chemicals would be mixed, perhaps in a chamber in its throat or mouth. The resulting reaction would be highly exothermic, producing intense heat and flame. This fiery jet could then be expelled with great force. a biological flamethrower, terrifying and deadly. Alternatively, the fire could be based on flammable gases. Many biological processes produce methane, for example. If a dragon could store concentrated methane, it would need an ignition source. This could be a spark generated by grinding specialized teeth together, or perhaps a separate organ that created a small electrical discharge. The engineering challenges are immense, but for a civilization that could manipulate genetics, perhaps not insurmountable. Gap 3S. Let's pause for a moment and delve into an engaging debate. Were dragons ever real, or are they purely the stuff of legend? This question has sparked countless discussions and theories over the centuries. Some believe dragons are entirely mythical, born from the human imagination. They argue that dragons symbolize natural forces or human fears. Others suggest that dragons could be based on real creatures, now extinct. Could ancient humans have encountered large reptiles or dinosaurs, leading to dragon myths? Gap 2S. Consider the fossil record. Some paleontologists propose that dinosaur bones found by ancient people might have inspired dragon stories. Imagine stumbling upon the massive skull of a Tyrannosaurus rex. It's easy to see how such a discovery could lead to tales of giant, fearsome beasts. On the other hand, skeptics point out the lack of direct evidence for dragons. They argue that no dragon bones, scales, or eggs have ever been found. This absence of physical proof makes it hard to accept dragons as real creatures. Gap 2S. But what about ancient texts and artworks? Dragons appear in the myths and legends of cultures worldwide. From the Chinese lung to the European wyvern, these depictions share striking similarities. Could this be a case of convergent mythology, where different cultures independently created similar creatures? Or is there a deeper, hidden truth waiting to be uncovered? Gap 2S. Now let's hear from you, our viewers. What do you think? Are dragons a figment of our collective imagination, or could they have once roamed the earth? Drop your theories in the comments below. We're excited to see where this great dragon debate takes us. Why would an ancient civilization create such formidable creatures? One chilling possibility is warfare. Imagine dragons as the ultimate weapons of a bygone era, far more devastating than any siege engine or army. A single dragon could incinerate enemy troops. It could demolish fortifications with its fiery breath. Its terrifying appearance alone would break the morale of any opposing force. Kings and emperors might have craved such power. These bioengineered war machines could have dominated battlefields. They would be living instruments of terror and destruction. Their loyalty could be ensured through genetic programming or specialized training. Perhaps they were controlled by telepathic commands or through unique sonic frequencies. The masters of these dragons would hold unimaginable military power. They could conquer nations and build vast empires on the backs of these fiery beasts. Think of the psychological impact, the sight of a squadron of dragons darkening the sky, the roar that shook the very ground, the searing heat of their approach. It would be an experience of pure, primal terror, an experience that would be seared into the collective memory of humankind. Beyond warfare, dragons could have served other vital purposes. Imagine them as incorruptible guardians, protecting sacred sites, hidden temples, or vast treasuries. Their fearsome reputation and deadly abilities would deter any thief or intruder. Legends often speak of dragons hoarding gold and jewels. What if this hoard was actually something far more important? Perhaps it was knowledge, ancient libraries or repositories of lost science. These guardians would not sleep or tire like human sentinels. They could be programmed for unwavering loyalty to their task. They might have patrolled specific territories or remained dormant for centuries, awakening only when a threat approached. Their long lifespans, often described in myths, would make them ideal for such roles. Protecting secrets across the ages, waiting for a time when humanity might be ready for them again. The dragons were not just monsters, they were also protectors. Our ancient myths are often dismissed as simple fairy tales, but what if they are more? What if they are fragmented memories, distorted accounts of real events and real beings from a forgotten past? The story of St. George and the dragon, for example. Could this be a garbled retelling of a conflict with a bioengineered creature? Perhaps a warrior, using some lost technology, confronted one of these ancient beasts. Across the world, from the Americas to Australia, Indigenous cultures have stories of giant reptiles, serpent gods, winged monsters, and creatures of immense power. These stories often share common themes of creation, destruction, and the interaction between humans and these powerful beings. Could these be independent inventions of the human imagination, or are they echoes of a shared global experience with real engineered dragons? The details in some myths are surprisingly specific. The color of a dragon's scales, the nature of its roar, the description of its lair. Sometimes these details seem too precise for pure invention. If such advanced civilizations existed, and if they created dragons, what happened to them? Why is their knowledge lost to us? The answer may lie in the very power they wielded. Advanced technology, especially bioengineering of this magnitude, carries great risks. Perhaps their creations turned against them, or maybe rival factions, each controlling dragons, waged devastating wars that shattered their world. Cataclysm is another recurring theme in ancient myths worldwide. Stories of great floods, earthquakes, and fire from the sky. Such events could have wiped out these advanced civilizations, destroying their cities, their laboratories, and their knowledge. The few survivors would have been scattered, their sophisticated understanding lost in the struggle for basic survival, leaving behind only fragmented memories and legends of a golden age. The disappearance of such technology and its creators is a profound mystery. If you enjoyed this exploration, don't forget to subscribe, share, and comment below. Your support helps us uncover more mysteries of the past. Could we ever find definitive proof of bioengineered dragons? What kind of evidence would we look for? Perhaps anomalous fossilized remains, skeletons that defy natural evolution, bones showing signs of genetic manipulation, or even preserved tissues, if we are incredibly lucky, that could yield ancient DNA. Such a discovery would rewrite our understanding of the past. The search might also lead us to re-examine ancient sites. Are there hidden chambers beneath the pyramids, or submerged structures off our coastlines? Places where records of this lost science might still exist. Inscriptions, artifacts, or even dormant technological devices. We need to approach archaeology with a more open mind, a willingness to consider possibilities that challenge our current paradigms. What if this knowledge was not entirely lost, but merely hidden, encoded in esoteric texts, in the symbolism of secret societies, or in the oral traditions of isolated indigenous groups? Perhaps the clues are all around us, waiting for us to connect the dots, to see the patterns that point towards a forgotten technological heritage. A heritage that includes the awesome power to create life itself. The question of bioengineered dragons forces us to confront the limits of our knowledge. It invites us to wonder about the true capabilities of ancient peoples.